All right, thank you so much, Peggy, and welcome everyone. Thank you for coming to part one of our introduction to the Texas State Archives. Like Peggy said, my name's Caroline. I've been a reference archivist here at the Texas State Library and Archives Commission about 3 years now, and I am really excited to be with y'all today. So let's get started. We're going to talk about in this session what's in the state archives, as well as how to access archival materials. And as Peggy mentioned, please feel free to type your questions into the Q&A box during the presentation, and we will be getting to them at the end. So before we get started on talking about the archives, I'll give just a brief overview of our agency. We're located in downtown Austin by the Capitol building. Right now, our archives reading room is open to the public by appointment only, and I will be providing more information on that later in this presentation. We always like to share an overview of TSLAC's mission and the services and programs our agency provides to Texans. If you want to learn more about our agency, you can find all sorts of great information on our website. Okay, so now what you came to hear, what's in the state archives? So the Texas State Archives preserves and documents the heritage and culture of Texas by identifying, collecting, and making available for research the permanently valuable official records of Texas government, as well as other significant historical resources. So to this end, we hold government records that range from pre-Republic of Texas to the modern era, court records, newspapers, manuscript collections, which include personal papers and diaries, prints and photographs collections, maps, audiovisual materials, and artifacts. Whether you're new to the archives or you're a seasoned researcher, searching the archives can take a lot of time. Information may not always be organized in the way that you expect. Sometimes records are organized by date or by topic, and some finding aids are not as detailed as others. The majority of our collections do not have name indexes, so that's why it can take some digging to find what you're looking for. Citations can be a great tool to help you in your research, but they may not always be accurate. So if you're following a lead for something that's referenced as being here at the Texas State Archives, get as much information about that citation as you can. And if you're having trouble finding materials that are cited as being in our holdings, it really helps to let us know what citation you're working from so that we can do some research on our end and see if we can help you out. Depending on how old the citation is, box numbers and collection titles may have changed. So that's something that we would be able to figure out for you. And we've also found that some older citations will cite records as being at the state archive when they're actually at UT Austin. So it's just helpful to let us know. Since our archives are based on state records, it can be helpful to think about your research topic in terms of how the state government or the Republic of Texas would have been involved. An example is governor's correspondence or court records, because they cover a wide array of topics and involve individuals from different geographic areas and social classes. So now that you've gotten a brief overview of what we have in the archives, how do you access them? There's multiple ways to access these records. Finding aids available on our website and through Tarot, which is the Texas Archival Resources Online, serve as descriptive guides to processed archival records. Our website also includes indexes and searchable databases for select records, for example, our Confederate pension applications and map database. As of January 2021, the TDA, also known as the Texas Digital Archive, holds over 5 million records for the public to access online. Collections on the TDA include governor's records, manuscript collections, state agency records, prints and photographs collections, and much more. So we're always adding more digital content to the TDA. If you are researching materials that at one time weren't available on the TDA, they could be available now. So it's really helpful to check the new and updated page on the TDA to find more information. If you're having trouble finding something on our website or through one of our online search tools, it helps to look for help topics and tips, like conducting keyword searches or downloading items, as well as looking for frequently asked questions. Not all of our records have discovery tools online, so if you're not finding what you're looking for, please feel free to email us at ref@tsl.texas.gov, and we'll be happy to help you. And for more information on using finding aids and our online search tools, join us for part 2 of our Intro to the State Archives coming next month. So now I'm going to talk about how you get digital copies of archival materials. You can search for, browse, and download watermarked images from Flickr, the TDA, and our online search tools like the ones I mentioned previously. To better preserve archival materials, staff will direct you to digital copies of an item if that's already available. To download from the Texas State Archives imagery collections on Flickr, select the arrow pointing down in the lower right-hand corner of the display. On the TDA, you can download by clicking on the arrow pointing down in the top right-hand corner of the page. Many of our online search tools also give you the option to download. For example, you can download digital images of maps from our map collection by clicking the Download Image button to the lower right of the image. If you have any trouble downloading an image, or you need citation information, or you'd like an unwatermarked image, or a particular resolution of an image for publication, please contact us so that we can assist you. So, as you may have guessed, not everything is online, but we do offer several options for access to materials that aren't online yet. One such option is Reproductions, meaning that we can provide you with photocopies or scans of specified materials. We've been able to assist many patrons with their research this way, especially now when we've been in quarantine for several months now. For example, court cases are regularly photocopied for researchers and law firms because this allows them to read the primary source materials at their own pace, make notes on the copies as needed, and share these materials with colleagues or staff members. This has also been a good option for researchers that are needing to review the entire contents of one or many archival folders that don't have item level descriptions available. So the availability of reproductions is dependent on the size of the record, the condition of the record, and the type of record. We don't have a scan on demand service, but we can provide you a price quote for digitization of eligible materials. More information can be found in the fee schedule available on our website, covering prices for reproductions and more. So anyone can use the archives. If you're unable to come on site to do your research, your friends or colleagues who are willing to come into the archives and help you out are welcome to do so and research on your behalf. You can also use a private researcher. Our website includes a list of private researchers, many who are local, that are familiar with our facility who have requested that their names be given to persons desiring more extensive research than can be done by our staff. You should know that inclusion on this list does not imply endorsement by TSLAC, and prices are negotiated between you and the private researcher. Private researchers can be a really great option if you can't come into the archive. They can conduct research for you if you need more assistance than we can provide remotely. They can look through boxes for you rather than requesting photocopies of entire boxes, or get you the information you need on a tight deadline. So we had a recent example of this actually, where a researcher was needing copies of an old Supreme Court case, and they needed it in a pretty small window of time. So what they were able to do once we gave them this information on access options was they were able to hire a private researcher who then made an appointment, came in and scanned the court case file using the self-service scanner we have in the reading room. So by using the private researcher, the requester was able to get what they needed by their deadline. So now I'm going to talk about when it's helpful to make an appointment. An appointment can be a good option for you if materials aren't available online, you're on a tight deadline, you're unable to narrow materials down to request reproductions, you want to look at a large amount of materials, or there's no finding aid available for the materials you're interested in. You're welcome to contact us by phone or email to request an appointment. We just ask that you please do so more than 24 hours in advance of needing an appointment, because we do have materials that are restricted and materials that are stored off-site. So we just want to make sure that materials are available for you before you come in. Same-day appointments are not available for the same reason that some things are off-site or restricted. So to make an appointment, you must register as a patron, or if you've been to the archive before, renew your registration. And you will also need to complete the Texas State Archive Material Request Form, identifying the materials you would like to view during your visit. You can check out our Before You Visit page on our website for more details and tips on making an appointment. You can contact us by mail, phone, or email. Our standard response time is 7 to 10 business days, but please let us know if you have a deadline for your request that requires a quicker response, and we'll be able to help you as best as we can. When contacting us, if you already know of a collection title or box numbers that you're interested in, that's great, and please share with us that information so we can assist you better. But if you don't know exactly what you're looking for, that's okay too. We're still more than happy to help you out. If you're interested in collections at our Sam Houston Regional Library and Research Center in Liberty, Texas, we recommend that you contact them directly, because those records are stored in Liberty and you would need to travel to Liberty to go see them. So in short, we talked about how you can find materials using our finding aids and online search tools, and those can help you to learn more about our collections. identify materials of interest, and search, browse, and download digitized archival materials. We also talked about options for access for items that are not available online, like photocopies or digitization, hiring a private researcher, or making an appointment to come into the archives reading room in downtown Austin. And once again, the resounding theme here is that if you have questions, please let us know. We are more than happy to help. It's what we're here for. So if anyone is curious about some of the images I included in this presentation, I've got a citation page here, and it'll be part of the recording that will go on the website. And the citations will identify the materials and the collections that they're part of. Thank you so much for attending this presentation. This has been our first time doing this, so thank you so much for being here for this historic moment. And we are now, I think, ready to take questions.